What's up, fight fans? This is Counterpunch with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Get this, Deontay Wilder claims that Anthony Joshua is broken after his defeat of Alexander Usyk. And this is what he had to say. He said he looks more broken or something. Maybe it's him getting used to not having titles, and now the tables has turned, because sometimes you have something for so long and the tables turn, you've got a chance to get used to that when you were used to something else. Those are the words of Deontay Wilder. Now at this point, Deontay Wilder, like I've told you guys before, Deontay, it seems like he's speaking from experience. You know, and then another question you ask yourself, speaking of belts and championships, kings, what part of him that is kind of reflecting on the Tyson Fury claims is him not being accustomed of having the WBC, of not having the title of being champ. You know, people call him king, a champ, and everything like that. You know, you hear that across the board with all types of fighters. What's up, champ? How you doing? You know, look at Shannon Briggs. Let's go, champ! Right? So champ is like a word that's thrown around loosely, but what happens when you're really legitimately, officially a champion and you lose that? And most importantly, you lose it again. Okay, you lost it, then you try and get it back, and then you fail again. That's where Anthony Joshua at, but most importantly, that's where Deontay Wilder has been. Okay, Deontay Wilder was defeated by the same guy. Okay, he was defeated twice. He has 2 losses. He has 1 draw, and all of those blemishes come from the same man. All right, and him reflecting, talking about Anthony Joshua, I think he's talking from experience, you know, and this would be a perfect opportunity to pounce on Wilder and this, that, and the other. But I think what Deontay Wilder normally does, and a lot of people do, he's not alone. What he's doing is he basically expresses his own feelings about himself, but demonstrates that onto other people, okay? And it's almost like, you know, it's almost like talking to yourself, you know, and another person, right? Oh, I think Joshua's broken or something, so, you know, I feel that, you know, you're accustomed to something so long, see, and then, you know, you don't have it, and then I think that's, you know, what affects you. I think that is pretty much, to counterpunch him, what affects him. You know, we recently heard Wilder, now he's talking like this is 2020 again. This is 2 years later, and he's talking like this is 2 years before. See, the allegations and all this stuff came out after he got his first loss. Nobody cared until he lost. He didn't care until he lost. Nobody needed training. Nobody needed constructive criticism. Nobody needed anything, you know, until he lost. Then everything and everybody was the problem except him. Okay? And so much came out at that point. But then to hear Wilder say, hey, I think Anthony's broken. Well, I think he should stop being as one-sided and kind of involve himself in that, because I know damn well he was talking about himself, because he was speaking from experience, because it fits. The shoe fits. You know, he was accustomed to the WBC. He held on it for 5 years. He lost it to Tyson Fury. Then he tried to get it back, and he lost it again. Okay? So the only thing you really have left, if you don't address your true issues, is resentment. And that's the only thing that it's going to build. Hatred, resentment, you know, extreme dislike, right? Which is hatred. But that's those type of things. All these negative attributes are only going to build unless you handle something, unless you let things go. And as of now, I don't see he's done that. And I think, you know, he's mentally broken himself. So if he's mentally broken, I just think, like my father always used to say, misery loves company. Okay, and I think him talking about Anthony Joshua in this way, I think he's forgetting to include himself in that same scenario, because that scenario happened to him. Both of these guys were once undefeated, had the highest knockout percentages, on their given records of the people that they fought, and they were champions. Now they are not. But so for Deontay Wilder to say that, oh, Anthony Joshua is broken without including himself, I think it's unaccountable, because he's not having accountability for himself. Because if I had the same fault as someone else that I'm talking about, I'm going to include myself. That's the responsible thing to do when you're dealing with anything, especially when you're talking about someone's flaws, or you're telling someone or a group of people or the world, the public, what you feel about somebody else. Include yourself if the shoe fits. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Deontay Wilder claiming that Anthony Joshua now is a broken fighter. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.